Hello to you there and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us on Frontier Opening Bells today. I am Faith Agbituya and I have on the call Agnes Gitao, Managing Partner at GBS Africa. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. Agnes, it's nice to have you join me today. And very quickly, we'll take a look at the closing figures for selected African stocks that we monitored on Frontier Opening Bells, starting with Nigerian Exchange, which finished on the green zone yesterday. It was really a pleasant sight of the trading yesterday on the floor of Nigerian Stock Exchange here in Lagos, Nigeria. 1.58% a change with the all share index numbering 39,196.62. The BRVM exchange was the only one that we monitored, was the only market that we monitored here, finishing on the red zone with a 0.07% change. 168.92 all share index. Egypt exchange 0.49% profit with a 10,853.83 PSI. Then Nairobi Securities Exchange had 0.04% profit, and the Johannesburg Stock Exchange finished also in the green zone with a 1.35% change, while there was a record of 69,609.06 all share index. Moving away from figures of the stock exchanges of in selected African countries, let's see the top stories in the financial markets of Eastern region of Africa. Kenya targets to export avocados to South Korea next year. Kenya's export earnings hit 10-year high at 368.79 billion Kenyan shillings in the first half of 2021. Quite interesting there, if you ask me. The Capital Market Authority recovered 1 billion Kenyan shillings owned by investors and sacks 20 directors. Tanzania's PBZ is to transform to Trillion Bank by 2023, coming from the managing director there in in that bank, and it should be pleasing to you to know that the PBZ is one of the it's really the oldest bank over there in Tanzania. It's state owned, and it's pleasing to know that they are announcing that there will be a transformation to being a trillion bank. Let's see how that really goes by 2023. Also, Uganda Amo Energy is restarting oil exploration after 2 years. So, Agnes, looking at the stories over there in the East African region, I'd like you to make your comment on anyone that really interests you.
Good morning, and thank you, Faith, very much for the introduction and inviting me to comment on East Africa. Allow me to start with the leading story where Kenya is looking to export avocados to South Korea from next year. This is according to the Cabinet Secretary, Betty Minor. This agreement was signed back in 2015, where Kenya has access to South Korea's market for horticulture products, and also, I guess, a move for Kenya to diversify its export market. Traditionally, we have focused on Europe, mostly the UK and other European countries, but in the last sort of 5 years, there's been a focus to diversify Kenya's market, and certainly a move that has been welcomed by Kenyan farmers. So this export will start early next year, and I guess it's welcome news for a lot of farmers who are focused on avocado production, I guess to serve the millennials who always love avocados. Kenya already has a market in China for avocados and other Asian market. Great news coming from East Africa. So the other story I'd like to comment on is the Uganda headline on where Australian energy firm will start oil exploration after 2 years. This contract was issued back in 2017 after competitive bidding, and is interesting. As you know, Uganda found oil about 10 years ago now, and it's good to see this exploration work start after 2 years. The other story, perhaps, which is of interest, is that Capital Markets Authority has recovered about 1 billion Kenya shillings owed to investors. But this has been a move by a regulator to restore the faith of consumers. They've also looked at dodgy traders, and apparently 20 directors have been sacked. I guess this is also good news for people who have invested their money in Kenya. So that's it for me from East African's headline. Thank you very much, Faye.
Moving on to West Africa and Nigeria, we'll start with the news that the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) is beginning major restructuring and redeployment. This is basically to make sure that they are really doing up to the expectation of Nigerians and to increase profitability of the corporation, and also, of course, to make sure that it measures up to global standards. Moving away from that, Flour Mills of Nigeria declares 6.8 billion naira final dividend. The Nigerian Exchange, Ella Lakes, names Robert Grants as the Chief Financial Officer, the CFO of that company. Cocoa Board in Ghana is introducing digital skills to ensure standardization. Anglo Gold Ashanti records $363 million profits for the first half of this year. In Ivory Coast, Societe Generale, the net banking index has risen to 4.6% to 82.7 billion CFA in the first half of 2021. Interesting and really stunning there in Ivory Coast. Moving away from Ivory Coast, let's move quickly to the Southern African region, where Take a Lot names Momongai Mallory as the new Chief Executive Officer. Adapt IT CEO Shabalala resigns after reports of violent attacks. That's as the attacks in South Africa continue to build up. The South Africa's newest bank, Bank Zero, has now opened. Good one. Anglo American PLC buys 116,192 own shares from Goldman Sachs. Zimbabwe set to mobilize investment in ferrochrome sector. All of that from South Africa. Moving on now to the North African markets. The financial market there has top stories, starting with Egypt's annual Consumer Price Index rising to 6.1% in July this year. On the Egyptian exchange, mandatory purchase offer is available on 298.6 million shares of Blom Bank in Egypt. Egyptian government is also set for the National Investment Bank liquidation. That's due to the high indebtedness of that state-owned bank over there in Egypt. Tijariwa for Europe is announcing that there will not be a fund transfer to Morocco done in just 2 hours. Sounding like a good innovation over there. The Tunisian Stock Exchange suspension of the CIL listing till August 12 after takeover bid. All of that in North America. And with those stories, those are top stories in the North American financial market. Will bring Frontier Opening Bells to a close this morning. Thank you so much for watching. I am Faith Agbetuya, and many thanks to you, Agnes Gitao, for joining me on the show today.